Hello, I'm going to do a very quick story for you today, and I'm going to use my piano to help me to tell the story, to give some musical accompaniment to the story. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to listen to the story and I'd like you to act out the story at the same time. Listen to the music that I make to go with the story and see if you can get your actions to match the story and the music. So our story is all about a little bunny, and this little bunny starts the day, he's asleep still, it's the morning and he's still asleep. So can you curl up on the floor and can you pretend to go to sleep? And this is the music that he's listening to in his head while he goes to sleep. He's having such a lovely dream. He's feeling very relaxed. But suddenly, he hears the alarm clock going. And he wakes up and he jumps out of bed. Are you ready to jump? Once he's jumped out of bed, he runs out of his bedroom and he slides all the way down the stairs. So can you pretend you're sliding down the stairs? Here we go. All the way to the bottom of the stairs. He runs into the kitchen. His mum has put some breakfast on the table and he quickly gets his, I think it's porridge, he gets his porridge and he starts eating his porridge. It's like, chum, he likes his porridge. He's spooning it out of his bowl like this. Oh, it's lovely porridge. He really enjoys this porridge. Can you give me nice big kind of sounds as you're eating your porridge? So lovely. Okay, when he's finished his porridge, he decides he's going to run all the way back upstairs again, and he goes step by step, one step at a time, and there's 8 steps, and he goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. All the way to the top of the stairs. When he gets to the top of the stairs, he decides that he's got to go and clean his teeth. So he goes into the bathroom, he gets out his toothpaste and he starts brushing his teeth like this. Up and down. He does a bit higher in his mouth and a bit lower in his mouth, right at the back. Really wobbling his toothbrush until his teeth are nice and shiny and clean. And he's ready for the day. So he decides he's going to go back down the stairs, sliding down the stairs again. Can you slide down the stairs? All the way to the bottom. He decides he's going to go on a little adventure. So he goes out of the house and starts hopping along out the garden into the fields. So he goes hop, hop, are you hopping along? And he gets to a big sort of pond. He sees a big pond and he really wants to get to the other side of the pond. And he sees that there is a big log going across the pond like a bridge. And he thinks, oh, I'm a bit nervous about going over the water, but I'm going to have a go. So he puts one foot onto the log. One foot on. Then he puts the other foot onto the log. He's feeling a bit nervous, so he's balancing on this log and he puts the next foot on. And he's balancing and he keeps going the next foot. And the next foot. And the next foot. And the next foot. And he starts to wobble a bit. He's wobbling and suddenly he falls into the water. Crash and splash and the water goes everywhere. Splashing everywhere. So he's in the water, he can swim luckily, so he's not too worried, but he manages to get to the side. So he's splashing along to the side and he pulls himself out of the water and he's completely dripping wet. And so he needs to give every part of his body a bit of a shake. So first of all, he shakes his head. Gives it a shake. And then he shakes his body. And then he shakes one leg. And he shakes the other leg. Shake up all the water. And lastly, he shakes his little tiny tail. So he's all shaken off the water and he decides, it's probably time to go home now. So off he trots back home. He's hopping along. Here we go. Hop, 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 hopping around. Hopping along. And he gets home. When he gets home, he can see that his mum has lit a fire and he is feeling a little bit shivery. In fact, he's really, really shivery and his teeth are really chattering. Can you chat your feet, teeth? He's got really, 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 really cold, chattery teeth. So he goes over to the fire and the fire is all warm and lovely. He stands in front of the fire and gets really, really nice and warm. And he lies down in front of the fire and he starts to feel a little bit sleepy again. And gradually, he shuts his eyes because the warmth of the fire is all over him. And that's our story about Bunny's little adventure. So I hope you enjoyed listening to the little story, and I hope you enjoyed acting out the story, and I hope you enjoyed listening to the sounds that I created with my piano. Now, what would be a nice thing for you to try is to see if you could make some sounds to go with either that story or a completely different story using whatever instruments you have available. Think about whether you need to make loud sounds or quiet sounds, whether you need to make big, deep, low sounds or little high sounds, or whether you need to do fast sounds or slow, gentle sounds. Have a play with using music to make your story.